NBR is the nation's Asia policy think tank with our founding office here in Seattle, and also with a Washington, D.C. office, uniquely positioning us with this bi-coastal presence to afford terrific opportunities to engage with the Asia Pacific. And it's a special privilege today to welcome visitors from the region here to Seattle. I should start by noting two of our NBR board members who are here. My predecessor and longtime president of NBR, Rich Ellings, now counselor in residence and president emeritus, and Will Rodemaker, also a board member and founder and chairman of Flyby Technologies. And we have a couple of other board members who I think will join us in a bit. Just as being here in Seattle presents a valuable chance to engage with the region, so too does the APEC Forum, which has been ongoing for some time here in Seattle. And that is what has brought our friends from Taiwan here today. I know there are representatives from other of the APEC economies who are here. We're grateful for your participation and contributions as well. Now, APEC is a meaningful forum for all of its members, but I think none values the opportunities that the APEC affords more than Taiwan. At NBR, we recognize the importance of Taiwan's participation in international fora, such as APEC, as a part of not only Taiwan's international relations, but also as a critical contributing factor to security in the region, economic growth, and technological innovation. It's for that reason that we're so privileged to be joined here today by Taiwan's Minister of Economic Affairs, Ms. Wong. Minister Wong, we're so glad that the APEC meetings brought you here to Seattle for the first time. And we greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to be here. Thank you. I'm also particularly proud. Director General Chen will formally introduce Minister Wong in a couple of minutes. I'm especially thrilled that you're here as someone who spent a significant portion of your career at the Ministry of Economic Affairs working on intellectual property issues. As many of you may be aware, at NBR, we just celebrated the 10th anniversary of our groundbreaking report, the Commission on the Theft of American Intellectual Property, and so I look forward to engaging with the Minister when we have our time of Q&A. Today's discussion will examine how the United States and Taiwan can cooperate more deeply to address shared challenges on supply chain security and resilience, trade and investment relations, and innovation in critical technologies such as semiconductors. These are all areas in which Taiwan plays an irreplaceable role in the Asia Pacific, and where Taiwan's ties with the United States bilaterally, as well as with other like-minded partners in the Indo-Pacific, are of critical importance. The landmark recent development in the bilateral economic relationship is the signing of the first agreement under the U.S. Taiwan Initiative on 21st Century Trade. We're going to hear more about it. As President Tsai of Taiwan put it herself, this is the most comprehensive trade agreement between the United States and Taiwan since 1979. It will not only serve as the foundation for future agreements, but already makes tangible progress on issues such as trade facilitation, support for small and medium enterprises, and alignment on regulatory practices. Meanwhile, collaboration on critical technologies is continuing apace, with Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer TSMC moving forward with plans to expand its production in the United States. Thanks in no small part to Taiwan manufacturing, we fully emerged from the semiconductor shortage that was so economically disruptive a couple of years ago. And our Taiwan partners are making a very important contribution in this space, helping to assure that investments flowing are well targeted at promoting more resilient, secure tech supply chains. After Minister Wong's comments, we'll have a distinguished panel of experts to discuss in detail some of the policy implications of these issues. It's especially important that we're here today in Seattle and Washington State because of the importance of Taiwan's relationship with the state of Washington. Exports from Washington State to Taiwan number more than $2 billion a year, and this trade supports over 13,000 jobs here for Washington State residents. Washington is home to dozens of Taiwan companies, including many in high-tech industries. Notably, Washington is home to WaferTech, a subsidiary of TSMC and the first pure-play foundry established in the United States. I think the success of TSMC's past investments in Washington can serve as a model for the new wave of investments in the semiconductor industry. And it's because of the depth of the ties between Taiwan and Washington State. And I'm especially honored to introduce the Lieutenant Governor of Washington, Denny Heck, to give his opening remarks. Lieutenant Governor Heck was first elected to his position in 2020, bringing to Olympia a lifetime of experience in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. He previously served as the first United States representative for Washington's 10th Congressional District. That's where we first met in Washington. And while in the House, served on the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, the Financial Services Committee, and the Joint Economic Committee. Prior to this, he was a successful entrepreneur, growing several small businesses right here in Washington State. Lieutenant Governor Heck, a real champion of Taiwan, it's my pleasure to welcome you. The floor is yours.
It is impossible to exaggerate or to engage in hyperbole as it relates to talking about the strategic importance and the economic importance of the relationship between Washington State and all of Asia, and especially Taiwan. It cannot be exaggerated. Minister Wong, I am only sorry that Director Chen is keeping you so busy that you won't even be able to go down to the market and catch the fish or experience any of the other things that are quintessentially Seattle and of which we are so proud. I do want to point out about my friend, Director General Chen. I have the great honor as Lieutenant Governor to meet with lots of representatives from other nations. In fact, many, many months ago, I was preparing to give some remarks, and I asked my staff to give me a tabulation of the number of countries, either consul generals, director generals, or ambassadors that I'd met with in the preceding year, and it was 29. So we do this a lot. We interact with a lot. And my takeaway is that these nations send their very best to Seattle and Washington State. And it is such a privilege to be able to interact with them. But I will say about Daniel, with all due respect, Consul General, this is the best of the best. Not just the best, but the best of the best. He is the epitome of an outstanding representative in reflection on his country, and we're so privileged to interact with him. And his sidekick over there recording this every word, his consul, Tony. I don't have to go into much detail about the trading relationship between Taiwan and Washington, but the facts themselves don't speak too directly. Taiwan is our 7th largest trading partner. Now that's kind of impressive in and of itself, but we should all remember that Washington State is the most trade-driven economy of any of the 50 states. So it's not just 7th with any state, it's 7th with the most trade-driven economy in America. And that is saying quite a lot. In fact, 7th overall, 6th largest as it relates to agricultural imports or exports from us. Wheat and potatoes and apples and cherries, they all make their way from eastern Washington through western Washington ports over to Taiwan. I think you should be buying more blueberries, Minister. And something that I will be doing later this year, in fact just next month, is suggesting that forget France, forget Napa Valley, the best wine in America is grown in Washington State. And you all ought to be drinking a lot more of it. And of course, it's not a one-way trading relationship. We import $4 billion or more of products from Taiwan. And 300 million of that is semiconductors. And yes, WaferTech is the first such site in America. I'm so proud of WaferTech. It's down in Clark County near Vancouver. That's my hometown. That's where I was born and raised. I actually served in the legislature for a decade, 40 years ago. And the Wafer Tech plant is in the district that I represented, although it wasn't built at that time. I had a chance to tour and visit the plant last year, and it was a wonderful trip. So, in addition to just visiting Wafer Tech in Vancouver, I want you to know our office does a whole lot more than showing up at events and talking about this trading relationship. Last year, my chief of staff visited Taiwan. Right now, my director of policy and international relations is in Taiwan. 1 month from Wednesday, I will be in Taiwan because this is a critical relationship. It's so important to the economic vitality of both nations. And it helps us do the even more important part than executing trading agreements. It enables us to deepen the people-to-people relations. Because while at the end of the day, this trading relationship is very, very important, we should remember it's not just a financial transaction, it's predicated on shared values and friendship. And I am honored to be a friend of Taiwan. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Heck. It's now my honor to welcome Daniel Guo-Ching-Chen, Director General of Taipei Economic and Cultural Office here in Seattle. This month, Director General Chen celebrates his third anniversary in this role here in Seattle as the de facto Consul General from Taiwan, representing President Tsai Ing-wen and her administration. The people of Taiwan, to the residents here throughout the Pacific Northwest. MDR has greatly appreciated our collaboration with TICO during your time. Look forward to future collaborations. Prior to this job, he was Deputy Secretary General of the Taiwan Council for U.S. Affairs in Taipei, Deputy Director in the Political Division at the Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office in Washington, D.C., the de facto embassy. That's where we first met. And earlier in his career, he was here in Seattle at the consulate another 6 years, so he's been here quite a long time. He's played a key role in advancing Washington State-Taiwan relations. We thank him for his service, continued engagement with MDR, and I'm so pleased to count Daniel as a personal friend as well. With that, welcome, and please introduce Mr. Wong.
So good afternoon. I was thinking about not to follow my script since Lieutenant Governor Heck and Roy, you guys is highly following me, so I don't know how much should I pay for you. So anyway, so Minister Wong and President Kim Hudson and Lieutenant Governor Heck, other distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So over the past 2 weeks, my office was very busy. We have the honor to hosting and receiving 4 ministers from Taiwan. So it's a reflection of the relations between Taiwan and the United States, especially into the APEC. And today I extend my heartfelt and warm welcome to Mr. Wong. And also I'd like to deeply appreciate, show my gratefulness, grateful to NBR for co-hosting this event, to showcasing the enduring bond between Taiwan and the States. So Taiwan and the States, we share the profound history of collaboration, built upon shared value like democracy, economic freedom, and innovation. And the Pacific Northwest, with its vibrant tech ecosystem, has been instrumental for fortifying these ties and driving economic growth and propelling technological advancement. So notably, Taiwan accounts for about 60% of the world chip manufacturing, with in most advanced, maybe the number goes to 90% is produced in Taiwan. So that numbers even surpassed the OPEC's, the 40% of the world oil production. So the disruptions to the supply chain caused by the pandemic has underscored the urgentness of collaborative effort to build a resilient and global supply networks. So in this endeavor, I'd like to emphasize you that Taiwan's role as a reliable and trusted partner is pivotal. They mentioned in Washington State. So Washington State stands as a technological powerhouse. Not only because it's a birthplace of the tech company like Microsoft or kind of Amazon, but it's also home to a lot of dynamic startup and small enterprises, igniting innovation in the tech sectors. So it is with great enthusiasm I share with Lieutenant Governor Hat that you are coming to Taiwan, so which is kind of an initiative that promises to explore new avenue of cooperation in trade and technology. So in the wake of the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it becomes more and more evident that the U.S. Taiwan trade and technology relation is beyond, way more beyond the mere economics. They are anchored in shared values and aspirations that bind our two countries. So as a consul general of Taiwan in Seattle, my commitment here is resolute. I'm going to deepen the ties between Taiwan and the States. I'm going to foster the expanding trade opportunities and also drive forward the technology cooperation for the mutual benefit. So on a final note, I urge all of us to recognize the importance of our collaboration and the potential it holds, inspired by Mr. Wong and also the panelists. So let us seize the opportunities ahead of us, and together we can picture and draft script the much better future of the shared prosperity and progress. Thank you so much. Roy, are you going to help us introduce Mr. Wong?
Yes.
I know we have to fight, and, but Roy, we will be so.
Minister Wong currently serves as the Minister of Economic Affairs of Taiwan, culminating several decades of career in that ministry. In this role, she's responsible for policies relating to industrial and commercial development, trade, foreign investment, energy, and other economic issues. Prior to her appointment in 2020, she held positions as both Deputy and Vice Minister of NOAA. Among her numerous other postings, she served as Director General of the Intellectual Property Office, I mentioned that earlier, trademark and patent divisions, legal affairs, and so on. She's not only an expert on the trade and technology topics we'll be discussing today, but also on the intellectual property rights that underpin Taiwan's economic and technological vitality. Mr. Wong earned her bachelor's degree in law from National Taiwan University. It's my privilege to welcome you to the program, to the podium, and after her prepared remarks, she's agreed to join me for a short Q&A. Please, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, the President Camperson, Lieutenant Governor Haig, Director General Chen, all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking NBR for hosting this event. It is my great honor to be here. And Washington State and Seattle have always been at the center of the U.S. engagement with the Asia Pacific region. Today, my focus will be on the semiconductor and the role Taiwan plays and in the global supply chain. In many ways, semiconductors are just like Taiwan. The chips are tiny, but very critical to so many industries. I think Taiwan's role is the same. Taiwan is so small, but so critical. So today, Taiwan's semiconductor supply chain provide a very critical role. And actually in this industry, we stay for a long time below the radar until the shortage of the auto chips during the COVID-19 pandemic exposed Taiwan's key role in the semiconductor supply chain. Now, as the whole world is making great effort to accelerate the development of the EV, the demand for chips will grow rapidly. And if you take a further look at next generation technology like AI and the high performance computing, as well as defense technology, people will come to realize the importance of the chips and Taiwan's unique and complete semiconductor ecosystem. So as a leading democracy in the Asia Pacific, and technology powerhouse in the world. Taiwan is a key partner of the United States. We share common value and robust trade and economic relationship. And in high-tech industry, such as semiconductor, we have a close relationship as partner, just like a team on basketball court, assisting each other to score and establishing a critical position in the global semiconductor ecosystem. Today, I would like to share with you Taiwan's commitment to growing our technology partnership and how we can safeguard the security of the semiconductor supply chain. You know, the global geopolitical landscape has changed rapidly. In 2022, the visit of the former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan has sparked concerns in the world about Chinese military exercise around Taiwan, making the security and stability of the Taiwan Strait a focal point of attention. So let me first highlight the strategic location of Taiwan. Taiwan located in the fourth island chain, Taiwan holds a critical strategic importance as the Taiwan Strait is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. About half of the world's cargo ship pass through this strait, which serves a vital road connecting Europe, Middle East, and the United States with Asia. If there is a military conflict or a blockade in this area, it could severely disrupt global shipping and have a significant impact on the world economy, including China's economy. So Taiwan holds a vital position. It is also a critical global supply chain player, especially in the semiconductor industry. I want to point out that Taiwan's success relies on the collaboration with our international partners. Semiconductor, the chips, are now considered by many people as the new oil, but their journey from raw material, equipment, to the end use is far more complex. Take iPhone, for example. iPhone, the core chips of an iPhone include chips designed primarily led by the United States from the Apple, and the equipment and material provided by the Europe, United States, and Japan. Taiwan contributes with cutting-edge technology, high-efficiency production for global customers. Over the years, American companies have been focusing on chips design and fine system specification, while Taiwanese companies have concentrated on optimizing manufacturing process and managing production costs. The semiconductor industry has set a concrete example of successful collaboration between Taiwan and the United States. Here, I would like to point out that the U.S. remains a world leader in the semiconductor industry. In 2022, the global semiconductor industry total output was around $707 billion, with the United States accounting for $304 billion, making up 43%. Taiwan, on the other hand, contributes $162 billion, which is 23%. That is mean Taiwan work hard, depend on the U.S. design, but the output, the U.S. side have the majority market share. So this demonstrates the win-win partnership between Taiwan and the United States. where Taiwanese company can create greater value for their American counterparts. So this year, the explosion in demand for AI-driven technology, led by the ChatGPT, was fueled by significant breakthrough in software model by the OpenAI and enhancement on chip capability by the U.S. tech giant NVIDIA. The breakthrough in NVIDIA computing power contributes by the support of Taiwan's semiconductor and ICT industry. That means the AI chips combined with TSMC 4nm chips and most advanced 3D packaging technology. And the AI server are all also manufactured by the Taiwan ICT supply chain. And not only the OEM, ODM service provided by Taiwanese company, also the components and subsystems such as power supply, chassis, cooling system for AI server, all are supplied by Taiwanese company. That means NVIDIA designed the AI system, and Taiwan team is responsible for all the hardware manufacturing. After such kind of the perfect combination, then what happened next? The director, C.C. Wei, the CEO of TSMC, mentioned that they use the most advanced technology to produce the AI chips and sells them to NVIDIA. Then combine, then the sell to the NVIDIA just for only a few $100s. And NVIDIA then combine these chips to make servers. And I just mentioned, these servers, including the parts, are all made in Taiwan. And TSMC has to spend $200,000 each AI server from NVIDIA. So the price differences here is the value that TSMC contribute to its American customer, NVIDIA. So you might want to think twice when hearing people say that Taiwan is taking away semiconductor job from the United States. That is not true. In reality, Taiwan's continuous growth and development of state-of-the-art process technology, along with supporting numerous American business in producing innovative products, is what truly benefits both Taiwan and the United States the most. Over the past 50 years, Taiwan has built a unique advantage in the semiconductor industry that simply cannot be replaced. Later I will explain. Only in Taiwan can TSMC develop the world's most advanced manufacturing process. I had the pleasure of attending the opening ceremony of TSMC Global R&D Center last month. This center will soon host over 7,000 researchers dedicated to pushing the boundary of technology. TSMC is sending a very clear message to the world that it is committed to investing in Taiwan and keeping the most advanced technology in Taiwan. What is even more remarkable is the collaborative spirit that extends both and within and beyond our borders. Semiconductor equipment and material company from U.S., Europe, and Japan are joining forces in Taiwan to develop the next generation technology, like 2 nanometer, 1.4 nanometer, and the most advanced 3D IC packaging. They have chosen to invest in Taiwan and participate in this incredible journey. This demonstrates foreign investor confidence in Taiwan future and their commitment to investing in Taiwan. In addition to its operation in Taiwan, TSMC has increased its global footprint in countries like United States, Japan, and Germany because of requests from customers, the technological collaboration, and of course, the foreign government support. Some of you might be curious about what I say Taiwan semiconductor ecosystem is hard to be replaced. I'll give you a few reasons. Manufacturing is an advantage of Taiwan's industry. Our education system emphasizes nurturing STEM talent, which has led to the creation of tens of thousands of exceptional research and development professionals in Taiwan. Additionally, Taiwan's society and culture has created a working culture characterized by a strong commitment to diligence, dedication, and teamwork. The business model of continuous production on 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, rely on our dedicated engineers. Taiwan has a unique one-day cycle. The distance from north to south is shorter than the distance from San Francisco to LA. The semiconductor supply chain are close to each other, so they can provide mutual support anytime. With the 50 years of development in the manufacturing sector, Taiwan's supply chain are well established. Taiwan has enjoyed long-term collaboration with international brand names, placing significant importance on safeguarding customer trade secret and intellectual property. So this is very critical idea for Taiwan. So this commitment has fostered trust from international clients. Today, the world's most advanced chips are manufactured in Taiwan. So if any happen to Taiwan, there will be a huge impact on the technology development and the global economy. Therefore, it is in the world's greatest interest to ensure the security of Taiwan so that we can safeguard the security of the global semiconductor supply chain. Our President Tsai Ing-wen has said that Taiwan is committed to working with like-minded partners in this region to ensure regional stability and continue to take necessary measures to enhance our nation's security. I would like to thank the U.S. and the G7 leaders for reaffirming the importance of peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait to the global security and prosperity. We will not seek military confrontation. We will stand together with neighboring democratic countries to maintain the peaceful and stable state quo in the region. So, in conclusion, Taiwan is the most trusted partner for the global supply chain. Maintaining stability in the Taiwan Strait stands as a permanent consensus among democratic nations worldwide. And furthermore, I would be keen to see more industrial cooperation based on the partnership between Taiwan and the United States. A U.S. Taiwan industrial dream team can help us grow together and become even stronger. And thank you, everyone, for your time and attention today. Thank you very much.